Hello and welcome to a video that I've long awaited making on this gaming channel, and I'm not sure how many people are going to watch it obviously, but I'll enjoy making it myself. So this is, well, my first impressions and exactly my first play, almost akin to Total Biscuits WTF is, going into a blind play of Europa Universalis IV, which is probably my most anticipated game of this year. I had this on pre-order months ago, so as soon as the pre-order was available. I really love this kind of game. I was really big into Europa Universalis III, which I've got tons and tons of hours in on. So, yeah, without further ado, I guess we should probably get started. The very kind of stuff from Europa Universalis III, because obviously it's now got the same engine as Crusader Kings, new features, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very, very... Whether there'll be features I dislike or new features I do like, painting of the White Cliffs of Dover, which is really EQ it or whatever for the video, but... I should probably have let all this stuff load that video. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're in. Okay. Yeah, as you right, a very similar style to Crusader Kings, the way that it kind of does the map on the opening screen, and here we are. This is it. So, wow. Okay. Apparently, there's new DLC day one, as you'd imagine already. How wonderful. So, I'm sure we're looking forward to buying that at some point. But I have got the pre-purchase Islamic mission pack, so you get lots more missions on the Islamic nations down here, as well as some other cavalry unit packs and music packs and stuff, so that's kind of cool. So let's go to the options menu and see what we've got here. In terms of game, there's just changing the autosave interval, which I'll probably have mine set at half a year. You can also autosave it to the cloud, which I might do, maybe. But no, it's not really much point, to be honest, because I tend to carry around my game autosaves anyway for Europa, because I like to move them between computers, because Europa is the one game that I like to play all times at any point on any device, so I'll probably keep that set off. Video menu, as you'd imagine, it's a lot more expansive actually than Europa 3 was, with all kinds of options here, as well as refresh rate, resolution, multi-sample level, which I presume is your filters and all that kind of stuff, 4 times, and of course gamma, which is I wouldn't expect anything more from a game like this. Now the master volume, which I'm gonna have to set down a bit, and by bit I mean a lot, so we'll set that down, as well as effect volume, music volume, and ambient volume, which I presume is just like the background hum of stuff that's going on as you're playing. So other than that, there's the scroll speed, which I might set up a bit, because I do find the scroll speed to be quite slow on these games, and the zoom speed, which will be the same, I guess. But anyway, if I put it up, I'll get used to it. So I'm not the person who can't play a game if the controls are not set right. I get used to it. I just play with it. So that's all good. As you'd imagine, just a very bland, but all you'd really need from an options menu from this game. So I guess I'm just gonna have to jump in onto single player, and as you can see, looking very similar to Crusader Kings in terms of the way everything's labelled and the way everything looks, because of course this is running the Clausewitz engine, whatever number it is that is in Crusader Kings, and that is actually a very nice amount of scroll. So if we scroll out and have a look at the world, it is, as you'd imagine, a very similar start to Crusader Kings, to Europa 3. However, it is a bit later than you can at the moment with Europa 3, because they have, of course, set it back to about 3099, I think. So, yeah, I imagine they'll add that at a later patch to the start later, and probably go later as well. Let's see what's the latest start you can. So latest one you can start is Revolutionary France, which I'm pretty sure is the last one you can start in Europa 3 as well. So hopefully they'll bring this back. I imagine they will. So let's just take a look at how everything is. You've got the hordes all across here. Obviously the Golden Horde, does it get bigger or smaller from now on? I don't remember. It gets smaller. So I imagine that is, again, going to get bigger if you have an earlier start, I mean, sorry. So, as for the demonstration of the video today, I think I'm going to play England, because there's a lot of stuff going on with England to start an early game, but I will also be making a playthrough of this, I think. So, if you want me to play a specific nation. If you are people watching this video, which would surprise me to be honest, but if you're people watching this video and you want me to play a specific nation, then please do. What is that? Why is that occupied by rebels? It must be some kind of historical thing for Denmark that was occupied by rebels at that time, which is very good because this game is very historically accurate, as you'd imagine from a historically accurate game. But anyway, if you'd like me to play any kind of nation at all, I would gladly do so. I don't really want to play England or France or Castile or Novgorod or then Russia, but I maybe would like to start something like one of the German nations and make Germany, because that would be kind of cool. I've never done that, and I don't want to say that I'm a good player of these games, but I enjoy these games. So whether or not I'm technically good, because to be honest I don't understand an awful lot about these games anyway, but I enjoy them and I enjoy the history behind them, because as you know I'm a big history buff. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to play England. At the moment the leader is Henry VI of Lancaster, which I believe would put us Henry VI. My history mind has gone blank. Anyway, yeah, so I guess we'll play England. There's a couple of bits in this game that I'm quite apprehensive about from what I've seen of pre-release stuff, but yeah, I guess we'll just jump into it like this. Okay, so well, this would officially be my first time in Europa Universalis IV ever, full stop, and it looks very familiar. The one thing that I can instantly say that I don't like is this hint system, which I'm not sure whether it was in Europa 3, but it's definitely in Crusader Kings, and I'm not sure whether I like it so much because the hints tend to get a bit annoying. Even if you click disable, sometimes I guess they come back, and yeah, so I'm just going to go turn that off, because I know this game really... Turn off all hints, or disable that hint. I'm going to disable the hints as they go along, just so we can get a good feel. So other than that, straight off changes, obviously this bar has changed. There's a lot of mechanics to do with diplomacy and all that have changed as well, so good. We've got disputed succession, a free advisor slot, the country's at war. Okay, we've started the game at war with France, which is always wonderful, because the French are either really weak or really powerful, so I guess we can decide that. And there's missions. Oh, of course, the mission system. I'd like to, in a second, take a look at the mission system. But anyway, as you can see, the graphics, if we zoom in, really nice. A lot better than Europa 3, because of course it's a brand new engine and all that. Lovely water graphics, I must say. And a nice border, because I don't think the game had a border last time, so it's got a really nice border. Anyway, let's get into the actual stuff of the game. So let's take a look at the different map modes we can have. That's of course the political map mode, which is what most people tend to play on. It's what I play on as well. But then we can also take a look at the trade map mode, which is something that I want to explore, because these trade nodes, as they're called, are a completely new feature in this Europa 4. And I'm not entirely sure what I think of them, or whether I even understand them, to be honest. They pretty much replace the centres of trade which used to be in the game. So you'd have a county, and that would have the centre of trade in it, and that county would make you a lot more money if it had the centre of trade in it. Whereas now, what they've got is trade nodes. So you can... Basically, they're not in any particular county. They are in a county. As you can see if you zoom out. These trade through London, these trade through Bordeaux. Those trade through Antwerp and Genoa. And the North Sea. So as you can see, the North Sea is not actually, it's not a city, it's a sea. But this is a trade node, so it's kind of like a trade area. So all of these trade through the London area, which basically means you can send your your traders to Antwerp, say, and then that'll try and route some of the stuff from Antwerp back to London, or try and route some of the stuff from Bordeaux up to London. So basically it's more about trade traffic than actual trade, well, the actual volume of trade in your city or whatever, which I'm not entirely sure whether I'm like, but I'm going to probably get used to it as we go along. So moving on to the next map mode, we've got the Imperial map mode, which is of course at the moment only showing the Holy Roman Empire, which you'd imagine it would be, but that's that. I don't particularly have any use for that at the moment. The religious map mode, which is completely yellow with a bit of Muslim over here and some Orthodox. But that's because, of course, Protestantism hasn't existed yet. The diplomatic map mode, which would say all of my occupied territories, enemies, and allies. And Portugal do, at this moment, have the little bit of Morocco that they do, which is nice. Then that's the menu. So I guess there's only... Can I go across? Oh, there are more map modes here, right, okay. But that's quite good because they always used to be layered across the bottom and top. But in this, they've got the most important ones, and then you can open up more to see revolts and spheres of influences and all that kind of stuff. So that's good, making the map modes more... Making the interface more clean and easier to use. So, yeah, what's this do? Production interface. Right, so this will allow us to make more units. That's quite good. That's nice. Like I said, I'm discovering this at the same time you are. Right. Just check if there's anything we can do. Right, let's take the advisors. Actually, no. I'll because that's quite similar to what it used to be. Let's check out the missions. Now, the mission system in this is a lot different to what it was before. Previously in Europa games, there have been where you are given one mission and you can decline that mission, and then that'll, you know, you only get to decline the mission a certain amount. In one mission in a certain amount of time is what I'm trying to say. So you get a mission, you would pretty much have to do that one mission. Whereas in Europa 4, they thought that was a bit silly, so they gave you the option of 3 missions, which you can choose. And I'm pretty sure if you choose one, the other 2 stay there. So if you complete that, then you can go on to complete that, and then complete that if you want to. So we've got vassalize Scotland, form an alliance with Leinster, and construct a grand fleet. Now, I think vassalizing Scotland might have to wait a little while. Although, we could probably do it in one war, but not right now. Whereas we form an alliance with Leinster would hamper our invasion of Ireland, which I'd like to do. But then, it would also give us, what would it give us? 10 prestige. I think prestige is given a little bit more of an importance in this game over EUIII from what I've heard, but I can't exactly remember. So other than that, I think all of our menus here are pretty good. So that's the national idea, which we can do. I believe we can, yeah. Although we can't do any of that right now, so I won't bother. So I guess we should select our mission. I'm going to go with form an alliance with Leinster because that gives us prestige and diplomatic power, which is something that's brand new in this game and I don't really understand at all right now. So let's go ahead and select that one. And if you click, of course, there over that, it'll show you Leinster is allied with England, and you get that for complete the mission. So obviously we should start by trying to get an alliance with Leinster. Alliance actions. Form, and that's another thing that's in this game now. I'm pretty sure this wasn't in Europa 3. Is you can form coalitions against people. So this requires a group of allies to come together to fight someone, such as the coalitions against the Habsburg princes in real life. So basically, everyone thinks, right, that's not on. We're all going to go against you, so you can stop doing that. So yeah, pretty much we can just select that. And that's nice, it gives you a little slider, not a slider, a kind of a graph thing to show you how far they are away from saying yes or no. If they are saying no, you can probably try and increase what they think of you. So we're just going to go ahead and send that. And alright, that's a nice little interface there because it's got the pause and play in the corner. And as you can see, they entered into an alliance with us, so we should probably have completed our mission now. And also there goes the speed slider at the top. I tend to play on a kind of a medium 3, but if I'm trying to rush something through and it's in peacetime, I'll play at 5. So let's go ahead and... there we are, we completed our mission. Milan is now in an alliance with Provence. So I'm guessing you can now enter alliances when you're not... oh dear, okay, we're going to get invaded by there. I'm not paying attention to this war, by the way. At all. Armagnac. I presume they're with France. We're going to lose this war. And I'm pretty sure it is... obviously, it's historically accurate that we'll lose this war because, well, England doesn't own any of this anymore. And I'm pretty sure it's difficult not to lose this war, so I might just forfeit this war, bring my troops back from Normandy, actually go over there, and just try and recoup what I've got. So I haven't got a fleet down here over in Gascogne. No. So, okay, let's just go ahead and do that. Savoy is now allied with Provence. Basically all the French states and all are getting nice and cozy. The one thing I do like about this now is, if I pause that, it's gone there now, but they do, all the units move now, so as you can see it moving along, like these French troops here, they're moving like that, so it's kind of cool. What is this? We'll leave that a second. Anyway, so like I said, all the units move now, so it's just basically a little bit of an upgrade to the graphic style, whereas they probably couldn't have done that with the engine in EU3. So that Oxford speech. 2 inches. Basically, the students want to join the war, gain manpower and administration. No excuse to drop out of school. I guess we could. It's probably horrible. Actually, no, stay in school. You know, I don't need the manpower, I don't think. Maybe I do. Who knows? But this is not a serious playthrough, so I'm not going to take these decisions very seriously. It also looks like we've also lost these troops here, so we should probably go down to the Gascon coast down there and get those troops back, because we've lost that. Another thing that I like about the engine in this game is the fact that in winter, all of this turns to white. As you can see, it's slowly turning white now. Some of the areas slowly turning from green to white as winter goes on, because of course it's very accurate, and all of this is white. And I'm not sure whether that was in EU3, like I said, because I don't particularly play in that map mode very often, so I didn't know about that, but I really like that. That's really cool. And even though I don't play on that map mode, it's still nice to know it's there. So, as you can see, our ship's moving down there. We're losing the battles quite spectacularly, apparently. And the French are coming down to meet us, so we should probably get on the ships and run home as fast as we can. Oh, okay, we didn't make it. Alright then. I guess we just leave those guys to their bloody deaths, to the French, and we run home with our tails between our legs. So, we should probably surrender to the French now, I think. Which will give us a nice chance to show some diplomacy off, I think. Okay, that's that done. And a new king is born. A new son to the king is born, an heir. Right. Alliance option, sue for peace. So let's see if there's any change to this system at all. So diplomatic power, where is that on the diplomatic power? I'm not entirely sure where that is. Administrative power, diplomatic power. So I think this is, you have to use this up to send diplomats to places, whereas of course you just have to use up your amount of diplomats in the past, which is cool. So we'll offer a tribute. Let's see if they'll accept it. I don't want to give them Calais particularly. Give them Co and Normandy though, which they will not accept. Gascon, Labor, and Calais. Basically, if we get off the whole of the French continent, they'll be happy. We'll also revoke. Oh, they're not happy about that. They don't want that, apparently. Okay. I'm not sure what these are. I'm pretty sure this must be whether France wants them or not. So, I don't know. I don't particularly want to give up Calais, but it looks like I'm going to have to. Can I not give up any of the others? No, well, I might as well just give up the whole of France. Yeah, there we go. Well, there we are, end of the 100 Years' War. And I like that. I like that little graphic there with the alliance. That's quite cool. An alliance with the Papal State, why not? I've also got revolts possible in Wales, Cornwall, and Ireland. Yay. Dispute succession. I'm just going to assume that a lot of you know about these systems, because if you're new to this kind of game entirely, this is not really a video for you, because this is very much, well, coming from the perspective of someone who played a lot of EU3, so I'm not new to this kind of game. Gain stability or lose stability? I'd say we can just give up France. Gain some stability. Oh wow, we lose a lot of prestige for that. Gained a reconquest against Armagnac and against France, as well as the dishonorable scum. Okay. So overall, I'm feeling this game quite a lot. Let's take a look at the trade nodes and stuff before we go. So let's open the trade node. Right. I presume this means... Right, let's have a look at this. I'm just going to have to take a moment to actually work out what's going on here. So, all of these people here, so basically all of Ireland, England and Wales trade through the London trade node. And this is presumably our power is obviously a lot greater than Connaught, Tyrone, Munster and Leinster. So, I presume we earn a little bit more. Well, a lot more than the rest of them. And this would be the actual amount of trade power that's in that node. Like I said, this stuff might have been in EU3, but I might not have noticed it because it's quite an odd system. Okay, let's go through those things. Right. Apparently, the merchants are sending 0 gold forward to Antwerp, so we don't particularly want to be sending any of our goods through to the Dutch centre of trade, where we... Right, I see what this does now. It means that 100% of all the trade is being kept in London and not being sent out to Antwerp or anywhere else. So if we click on Bordeaux, it shows that a small amount is actually being sent out. And do we even have any? We have 1% of the trade power in this French one here. So I imagine that means we are sending a small amount up here, but not an awful lot. So yeah, we're currently steering trade towards London. So here we are. Like I said, these are very interesting brand new mechanics to me, so I'm not really sure about a lot of it. Right then. Well, that appears to be pretty much it for what I want to talk about in this video. You've seen a lot of the mechanics, pretty much a lot of the new mechanics that I've got a hold of at the moment, so if you want to see more of this, then please tell me in the comments, because I will do an entire series on this, and I am also planning to do that Fallout New Vegas playthrough that I told you about ages ago that I was going to do. So, yeah. If you've not played EU3 or any other kind of Paradox game, it's basically just World Simulator in the history, which was a really, really badly jumbled explanation. It was basically a world history simulator in the grand strategy form. So if you're really into history, if you're really into grand strategy games, if you're really into anything like that, this game would be right up your alley. You may also want to check out Crusader Kings, which is similar to this, very similar graphics, basically based on the same engine, except you only get this amount of the world at the moment, but it's more based in kings and dynasties than actual countries. So yeah, if you get good at this game, it can be very easy to take over if you know what to do. So it's quite a steep learning curve, learning what all the different things do, and to be honest, me at the moment, I don't know what most of it does. I generally just tend to learn the important things, keep my finances in order, and then go to war or defend my borders if I have to. So you don't have to get super into grand strategies for this to actually be enjoyable to you. If you enjoy the history and you think, oh, I'm going to play as Brandenburg and I'm going to unite the whole of Germany, which is really cool to me, I'm not sure whether it's cool to you or whatever, but I really enjoy doing that. So if you like history, if you like grand strategy games, give this a go. And if you just want something different, give it a go. So it's currently £35 on Steam. I'm not sure how much else that is, but I'm pretty sure you can also buy a deluxe edition, which will give you the Muslim missions as well as other kinds of soundtrack and stuff, which the soundtrack in this game is actually pretty good. I really do enjoy it. And yeah, so you just get more soundtrack, more little sprites for the guys and everything, so it scales up with history, and of course a lot of Muslim missions, which is probably about £3 more than the actual version, or it was in the when I pre-ordered it. So yeah, I'd say it was worth it if you want to buy into this. And if you don't want to spend the £35 on this, which quite frankly a lot of people don't, you may want to just check out Europa Universalis III first, see if you enjoy that, and then possibly make the step up to this. Or you might just be content with EUIII, because the differences aren't that stark. I'm only buying this because I'm a really big fan of the series, and I'd like the latest version that is supported and with a brand new engine. So that's pretty much it, my reason for buying it. Yeah, so that's been it, I think. So thanks for watching. As I said, if you want to see more of this, if you want to tell me a specific country you want me to play, I might quite enjoy Burgundy or somewhere in Germany, like I said, or possibly one of the Muslim nations. Although I've done an Ottomans playthrough before and I just got huge and blobby and it was fun, but I've done it before. So I'm guessing somewhere in the HRE by here would be kind of cool, or maybe Eastern Europe, probably Germany is what I'll play. So like I said, thanks for watching. If you want to know more about this game that I haven't mentioned in this video, then please do so. Or, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave some comments as to any questions you've got, any tips you've got about the video that I made, and all of that. So thanks for watching. I guess I'll see you next time, and goodbye. Have a nice day.